Starting at the perimeter of the house. This would be the southwest corner, southeast corner. My apologies. I already opened this electrical panel and took a look on the inside. We've got a double tap negative, or a neutral, I'm sorry. Double tap neutral, we're missing labels. And it's an older system, we're missing a screw. The latch doesn't close. The lid doesn't stay quite shut. So I'm gonna recommend this panel get tidied up by an electrician. Nothing major, got some vegetation. One thing I noticed when I first pulled up is no soffit vents. So strike one on the ventilation. We do have a gable vent up top. We can already see some of the shingles are worn on the edges right there. Windows look okay, single pane windows. We haven't been on the inside of the house yet, just the outside. Missing screens though. A couple bougainvilleas in the front. These are really pokey, so you're gonna want to keep these trimmed back so they don't poke your guests coming over. Columns look fine. Fascia, soffit, nothing crazy going on the front. Main water line coming in from the city. You can turn all your water off to the house right here. It comes in from the water meter out there. Now the water meter was a little bit buried, so we want to beat it. We want it to be a little more available. So there's a meter in here telling us how much water the house is using, but there's also a valve. So if we have a leak between here and the house, we can turn the water off here. If we can't access the valve, we can't turn the water off. So I want to be able to access that valve. Most people don't have the right wrench to open it anyway, but one thing I did want to note is we've got some settlement on the front columns. You can see if you follow the ridge line over, it kind of drops right there and it picks back up. You can see this column is sunk in a little bit, evidence of settlement with the crack there right on the corner. Water is going to build up in here. This area has gotten soft, or it wasn't compacted good enough when it was built. One way or another, it's settled over time. So let's drop this whole front porch down a little bit. Do we have any cracking up here? A little bit of movement on that. Yep. Yeah, a little bit of movement on that column. So what that does is, it's not a huge problem. It's a little bit of a dip. You could have this lifted up and corrected. You could have this sealed and leveled off so nobody trips on it. But the biggest deal is going to be to keep the water out of there. Keep this dry as much as you can. Don't plant anything in here. Keep it dry, and actually if you want to build it up a little bit so everything runs out of there, probably be most beneficial. Attic access hatch in the carport. Missing the light bulb. Going in the backyard. Got a little bit of damage to the wall air conditioner unit. Well, this big pine tree in the back, it's definitely lifted up this cement here. Possibly somebody broke into the back fence too, because this gate was broken and that gate was broken when I arrived. You can kind of see how the pine tree is lifted, cracked, all the cement back that way, so everything is going to be draining towards the house now. So all this cement is basically creating a funnel right towards your foundation. So you got to get rid of the cement, probably get rid of the tree. Keep it trimmed back from the house. Make sure that in the big monsoon winds it doesn't rub against the side, the fascia. Got a bunch of old lights, old wiring. Paint is fresh, paint is good, but like down here, this is where all the water is coming in from this area when it rains. There's no roof over here, so water is going to sit here and it's going to travel back in towards your foundation. They've tried to seal this up with some caulking. Really, you got to get something in there that's solid and possibly lift this concrete out of here, or try and lift it so everything graded away. so when it rains, nothing comes back to the house here. This is going to cause settlement issues. This is going to cause moisture, mold issues. You can already see the wood siding is peeling up, or starting to bow out down there at the bottom because it sucked in moisture. This side isn't as bad, but still some issues. A little bit of rot up at the rafters. Backyard looks pretty good, nothing crazy. I'd like to see a kick out flashing there to make sure the water is directed this way when it comes off the roof surface and not back towards the house. It's just like a 45-degree angle of tin that gets put up there. Light switch for the outdoor light. Working. Missing a screen. We got another panel back here, probably for an evap cooler or something up on the roof. It used to be mounted up there. Do have conduit going that way. It's hard to say. It's not wired to anything today other than this outlet that the GFCI is not functioning at. Yeah, I found the easiest sprinkler timer there is. Just turn this valve off and it turns the sprinklers off. It's amazing. Clothesline in the backyard. I don't care about that. Get a pipe or something coming out, or something mounted. Probably a camera from painting it. Probably got a camera covered with paper and forgot to take the paper off. So on a CMU block wall like this, it's not traditional brick. It's called a slump block, not CMU. Slump block. Missing a cover on that electrical outlet. For sure replace that. But we're looking for step cracking. We're looking for cracks that follow the joints. That would indicate that something's settling or something's moving. It's harder to see all that with fresh paint. When they have everything just freshly sealed and painted, it covers up a lot of stuff that indicates problems. Doesn't mean that there's a problem, but you know, when it's covered up, we can't see it. Got a depressed area here where the dog was digging around the fence. So this area here is definitely compressed, settled. It's going to collect water. This is going to become a pond. And water is going to go underneath that slab, creating more settlement towards the house, making this slab settle even farther back towards the foundation. So we got some correcting the grade back here, possibly even correcting the slab. No immediate signs of settlement though. Nothing today is indicating to me that this house is falling into a hole. So I wanted to show you this water heater in this exterior closet utility shed. Got a couple holes up on the ceiling going right up into the attic space that should be filled in. We do have a fancy water filter system coming in from copper, going out through copper. Then we got a water softener. Yeah, look at all that white stuff on the ground. I've never saw so much efflorescence in my life, but it's salt. It's basically salt, minerals, and look what it's doing to the bottom of the water heater. It's just frying the water heater. This is just... At the main water supply here, this is a bonding wire for your electrical system, so the electrical is bonded to the water supply, all the copper plumbing in the house. All the pipes should be copper. 79 build shouldn't see galvanized, but we're going to take a look at it. Actually, that looks galvanized. We'll take a look at it. So at the main water meter here, you've got the shutoff valve on the other side. You've got your grounding wire here, your bonding wire that goes back to the electrical panel. And this is put here for either a pressure regulator, or you could attach the anti-siphon device or a backflow preventer for your irrigation system that we don't have in the back because it's being controlled just by a valve. Thanks for watching the video today with me on this flipped house. I'm going to lock everything up and get out of here, go find some air conditioning. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully some of the information that I provide to you will save you some time looking around at houses. I know how competitive the market is. Everything's up and down all the time, but the faster you can get information to make that decision, the better off you are. So keep my number in your pocket, keep it in your phone, give me a call, send me a picture if you see something on site that you're kind of curious about, and I'll give you some advice. I'm Home Inspector Dan. Thanks for watching. See you next time.